Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. Happy Tuesday. I am going to do a tag today. I love doing tags. It's so much fun to participate in this global BookTube weekly ritual that is doing tags, watching other people's tags, tagging people. It's just tons of fun. So this tag is the Reread tag. And I was tagged by Reading with a Vengeance, and somehow I missed it. It was a couple weeks ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago at this point. I'm not sure if I didn't get a notification. Sometimes the BookTube YouTube notifications are a little weird, but I noticed it and I thought, oh, what a fun tag. So I will, of course, leave Reading with a Vengeance link down below. This is a fun tag. It's really funny because she actually doesn't do much rereading, but on her version of the tag, she did books I want to or would possibly reread. I love rereading. Love it. There's a few books that I reread a lot. Those, of course, I will share with you in the tag. But it's kind of funny because this has actually popped up in a few other spots on BookTube recently. I saw Britta Bowler talking about rereads and Novella. So I'll link both of their channels down below too. I would love to hear if you are a rereader. I think the arguments against rereading are that there's so many books you want to read that you don't want to go back and revisit something else. But one of the arguments, which I totally understand, but I love rereading. I find it so comforting. It's funny because I also love rewatching my favorite TV shows and movies. My spouse thinks I am bonkers. He's like, why do you rewatch this over and over? Because I enjoy it. I get comfort from it. It's fun. And it's the same for me with rereading. So I love to reread. I've got a big stack here of things that I want to share with you. So let's jump in to the reread tag. Prompt number 1, cozy reread. Now, honestly, all of the books I'm going to show you could probably fill any of the prompts. They're virtually interchangeable. So I just picked a stack of books that I wanted to share with you, and the prompts I could really interchange them all. So this is a cozy reread. For this one, I'm going to go with, can't really tell what this is from the cover, but this is The Wind in the Willows. This is my original copy that I had and read when I was 10 years old. Look at this. Can you see my little signature right there? My little 10 or maybe 11-year-old signature. So cute. 249-9589. I had my phone number for some reason written in this book. I don't know why I did that, but I love this book. I reread it frequently. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's so great to reread in spring because the first scene is the mole spring cleaning his house. The mole had been working very hard all morning, spring cleaning his little home. First with brooms, then with dusters, then on ladders and steps and chairs, with a brush and a pail of whitewash, till he had dust in his throat and eyes and splashes of whitewash all over his black fur and an aching back and weary arms. Spring was moving in the air above and in the earth below and around him, penetrating even his dark and lowly little house with its spirit of divine discontent and longing. Isn't that a great first sentence? I just love it. I absolutely love it. So one of my all-time favorites. Actually, I'm not going to even say that anymore because these are all all-time favorites that I reread often. Okay, prompt number 2 is fun reread. And for that one, I'm going with, I pulled out my copy of The Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, I forgot to say Wind in the Willows, Kenneth Grahame. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I love these books. I reread them. They are so well done. Perfect fantasy. I just don't even know what to say. I don't probably need to say anything, but I also love this cover. Sadly, I don't have the editions that I read as a kid. This was another read when I was probably 11 or so years old, and just absolutely love it. So I reread this. I probably do a reread of all of these at least once every couple years. Prompt number 3 is palette cleansing reread. And for this one, I'm going to go with Persuasion by Jane Austen. I would consider this one palette cleansing because it's short, it's beautifully written, and I always feel a little smart when I read Jane Austen because she's classic. And I don't know, maybe that's a little pretentious, but when I reread Jane Austen, I feel like sometimes, if I'm not having a smart day, I like, oh, I can read Jane Austen. I am smart. I know it's kind of silly, but I love Jane Austen. The only one of her books I have not reread is Mansfield Park. Maybe I need to try that. Series reread is the next prompt, and for this one I can only talk about the Thrush Green series by Miss Read. I love this series. I just finished a reread of this. There are 13 books. Actually, I have not read the 13th book yet or reread because it's Christmas at Thrush Green, and I'm still debating on if I want to wait and reread it at Christmas time. I should reread it now and again read it at Christmas time, but I love these vintage editions. Even though I generally read these on my Kindle, but I love this series. If you're interested in Miss Read at all, she's a very cozy author writing in a setting of a cozy English village. And I love the characters, books 1 through 13. The characters kind of stick with you through the whole series, so you get to know them very well. I was going to see if there was a scene in here I could read to you, but I didn't prep. So if you want to try Miss Read, I would start with the Thrush Green series. It's my favorite. The first book is called Thrush Green, and it's just a wonderful, fantastic, cozy, old-fashioned English village story, and I love it. Next is emotional reread, and for that one, I'm just going to go with my beautiful standby Winter Solstice by Rosamunde Pilcher. Rosamunde Pilcher is another one of my favorite authors overall. Miss Read and Rosamunde Pilcher are probably my 2 favorites, and the ones that I reread the most often. Winter Solstice is probably the Rosamunde Pilcher I reread the most, because I just love the winter, cozy home, Christmas environment that this is set in. It's fantastic. It's such a wonderful winter Christmas read. And I don't reread it every year, but I might reread it again this year, and maybe I'll start rereading it every year because it's just a really sweet, cozy winter read. And then lastly, comfort reread. And for that one, I'm going to go with 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. It's hard to see. This is a little cute, slightly foxed edition that I love. It's got this beautiful little mini dust jacket on it, and it's so pretty. It's got a bookmark, ribbon, and when they sent it to me, they sent it with a postcard with thanks and best wishes, Jess, which I think is so sweet, which I just keep in the book. And also, this is a epistolary novel. If you have not seen the movie with Anthony Hopkins and Anne Bancroft, watch the movie. I love the book, but I saw the movie first, and I think the movie might even be better than the book. I know it's heresy to say, but I love, love, love the movie, and I rewatch that movie a lot too. So that is my reread tag. I am going to tag a few people. which is also a shout out. I've got 3 channels that I would love for you to check out. 3 of my favorite channels. A couple are new-ish. The first one is the Left-Handed Reader, whose channel I love, and actually I love all these channels. I'm gonna link you to her Jane Austen vlog. She recently read Jane Austen for the first time and vlogged it, which I loved. Next, I'm going to tag A Reader's Almanac with Celeste. And the video I'm gonna link for her is Jane Austen Cozy Crafts. What is not to love about that? It's fantastic. And then lastly, I'm gonna tag Books at the Bottom of the Stairs, this is a little bit of an older video. It's 3 months old, but I love it because it's books that don't crush your soul. Isn't that fantastic? Wonderful title for video. And I have to say, these books, these beautiful books that I love and reread very often are books that do not crush your soul. There's a little bit of a better view. So here are some of my favorite books of all time. Yeah, I'm just curious if you would like to let me know if you're a rereader, what your thoughts are, and I will talk to you later. Bye.